literally, I cannot hear the audio at all through my earbuds. I think it's finally time. It's finally time. My earbuds are just gonna go away, I guess. Hang on, I think I'm speaking on the wrong side of the mic again. Hello? Okay, that's better for sound. Yeah, I think this is the right side. You'd think I'd know. Oh, crap, I don't have chat pulled up. I need chat. Whoa, wait, is the chat bar still messed up? Oh, it is. It is. Okay, hold on. I'm pulling up chat right now. Oh, gosh. Whoa. The new icon for lives is kind of cool. It, like, shows your, like, profile has a big red, like, circle around it. I like that. Alright, I've got chat pulled up. Yeah, welcome to the stream. I never know how to open with stream stuff. It might not be a super long stream today. I'm a little bit on the fatigue side. I am quite tired, but the show must go on. Also, before I start drawing, I'm gonna I'll have to draw a frame that's not spoiler related, because the video I'm working on will be kind of spoiler related for Baldur's Gate, and I don't want people to get spoiled. It's never fun to get spoiled. And that's kind of why I kind of put Baldur's Gate discussion, maybe. Yeah, it can be whatever, honestly. Ghost Mask. Really anything I have knowledge about. But yeah, oh man. OBS, please fix chat. I mean, I guess I could update it. It'd probably be the smart thing to do. Man, I can't even see my drawing window. There we go. Okay. Woohoo! Yeah, kind of. Yay, there we go. I'm still trying to figure out a way to draw this character, by the way. I'm so bad at drawing. Like, my own character that I made, I don't know why, but I cannot get his hair down at all. In the game, it's just, it looks really nice, but I have no idea how to put it into, like, my style. I've been trying to do, like, that, like, really quick, like, sort of waves. It's really hard to do, though, man. I don't know why, but I can't get it to look the way I want it to, like it looks in the game. God, I have like 20 different versions of how I draw this character at this point. Poor Ray. It's just so difficult. I also have no idea how to draw the headpiece I have either. Every single time I struggle with it. Just keep it simple for now. Keep it simple. Most of my art I have to keep simple, because I feel like if I start adding too many details, it's gonna start to look kind of wonky. Because my art style is just simple by the way of me drawing it. See, like, that starts to look okay. Like, I think that starts to look kind of fun. Like, I like his hair. Kind of, maybe. I don't know, my art style has been kind of going more towards, I guess not realistic, but realistic in terms of this game particularly, but I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to be super realistic. Just kind of how my art style tends to lean. It just makes things easier when I don't have to rely on my own version of my art style, when I could just kind of make it a little bit more realistic and give myself more details, and that way characters can look a lot more recognizable. I've noticed it's really hard to do a simple art style that's like not just completely like, there's ways of stylization that look better than others, and for me, I have trouble with stylization a lot of the time, because it just kind of looks weird. It doesn't look quite right. That's kind of how my art style ends up kind of looking a little bit weird sometimes, and sometimes characters don't look recognizable when they should. And I've been having that issue a lot lately, so it also just helps in general to start to go more down a realistic path. I've noticed a lot of people tend to do that eventually. They just start to kind of go towards the realism path. But I will always still keep my simple art style. Like, I just drew something a little bit ago for Ghost Mask. Like, finally a Ghost Mask drawing. It's been like 20 years. Man, dude, this hyperfixation's got me. It's got my mind not thinking about Ghost Mask as much, but that's okay. Ghost Mask will always be around. It will never be canceled or forgotten. Mainly because I just have put so much into it, and I love the story, and it's still my passion. I absolutely love Ghost Mask still. It's all about the balance. It's very ironic considering what scene I'm drawing. Balanced as all things should be. Like, see, look at the eyes. They just don't look right. Oh, thank goodness I did that on another layer. I didn't even realize I did that. I think I just did that as like automatically I just did it. But yeah, for some reason with my art style, it just starts to look kind of weird with some of the stylization choices. So I'm trying to experiment with more realism, seeing if it kind of helps make characters look a bit better, more recognizable. In Ghost Mask, like I said, I mean, the characters are already kind of like, since they're original characters, you kind of already know who they are, and so it's a little bit easier not to have to stylize with them, but yeah. Still. Having the screen helps kind of focus me? What am I saying? Focus on me drawing, because it helps me look, when you look at art from afar, it's a lot easier to see the inconsistencies and stuff, and the stuff that looks kind of wonky. This is my favorite type of mouth to draw. Just a little. It's just so simple. I love it. I know it doesn't really fit with the realistic style. This is not. I will say this is not even realistic. This isn't even close. But it's still fun to try new things with my art style. Art styles always change. Like I always think like, oh man, I have a very specific way I draw stuff. I'm never going to change it. But that's just not how art works. The more you draw, the more it just naturally changes over time. You start to be influenced by other artists, other medias. You start to be, especially if you're improving constantly, if you're constantly practicing realism, you'll start to see that realism just start to naturally pop up. In my case, I do still, practice realism, but a lot of the times with the cartoony art style, I just tend to, the cartoony art just sort of stays cartoony. But even then, even just in the span of a couple months, you can start to see a change. Hello, welcome to the stream. I do have a video about to be ready for YouTube. I've got 2 videos that are almost on the, I've got one video that's on the cusp of being ready, and then this video I'm about to be done with is ready already. Oh, ready already? What? But I just need to make a few tweaks to the editing and maybe like a little bit of editing on the frames, and then it will be done. So I'm very excited for that video to come out. I've got a ghost mask video that's just about done. Like I said, it's getting there. It's been kind of hard to get the motivation still, but so far I've really been enjoying just kind of relaxing from the stricter schedules, and more so just kind of focusing on whenever I have an idea, I'll do it, you know. It certainly helps with motivation to not have that pressure. But yeah, in general, I've just been kind of I do still have a little bit of ideas like for videos. Like, I still have them. It's just that sometimes it's about like getting the motivation or getting the want to do it, you know, stuff like that. In drawing in general too, it's just like, oh man, some days I feel like I just like it's just gone, man. I don't know what happened to my passion. But you know, it is what it is. I always think it'll come back. Usually it does. You know, there was a time, I think, for a while that I didn't draw in my life. Like, there was a time like this where it was like I literally just did not draw at all whatsoever. But I mean, I still draw a little bit. There was a time in my life where I didn't draw for months. And it was like the only time that ever happened. Pretty crazy stuff. But luckily, I feel a little bit more drawn to art lately. I do have a lot of ideas. Just trying to start them is difficult. But it is what it is. I'm so sorry. I am having a hard time thinking about stuff to say today. I don't know why. Some days are just like that. My brain's just kind of turned off. It's like, huh? What's going on? But yeah, I am free to talk about basically anything going on. One thing that does suck that I can talk about that is the video muting on TikTok. Yeah, that you know, half the videos I uploaded on there just no audio. They're completely muted. And I remembered when I had made a YouTube video a while back and it was muted because I guess there was like a copyright issue on YouTube about the song, and I didn't know because I had found the song on YouTube, so I assumed you could upload a video with that song. But in this case, it was like TikTok just basically annihilated almost every one of my videos with copyrighted music. So that's fun. That was nice. Thanks for doing that, TikTok. I guess it was there was like some sort of copyright issue. I don't know. Copyright stuff has always been super annoying on the internet. If you've ever posted a video anywhere online, you know copyright is just, it is the bane of a creator's existence by far. Just like, it's just so annoying, man. Just let them use the audio. I mean, for real? Are we really like pulling this like catastrophic, let's just like nuke every single song off of TikTok sort of thing? Like, what's even the point? But I get it. There's laws, and I guess if you're not careful or if you don't read between the lines, there's all sorts of things that can happen with that. And I get it, like I said, but man, is that just not the most unfortunate thing? Because now half my videos make no sense without the audio or the music. Characters will sometimes sing or dance to the songs, and I mean, it's just useless. What's even the point? I guess it's good that I stopped doing a lot of music related stuff. I mean, for a while, I sort of audio based stuff on TikTok, where I would just use like a famous audio or whatever for something that I thought would be fun to make. But man, I like I do like all the edits though. All of editing TikTok is completely on fire, and all the editing videos have been muted. So it's really nice to see fan edits of just like the Home Depot song in the back, because all the audio is gone. It's just characters like character edits to just like the most random songs. That's fun. It's nice to know I'm not alone in that. But man, this is so unfortunate. I actually had a video I was gonna upload to, and it had a song that was unfortunately terminated by the UMG, I think is what it's called, copyright thing that's going on right now. So that was nice. That was really great stuff. Thanks for that, TikTok. Really appreciate you. Great. Good. I can't wait for the day YouTube does that. Oh man, I will have a field day. Like, I just wake up one morning, my channel's just completely annihilated. I've got like one video with audio. I mean, to be fair, similar stuff has happened in the past. I mean, YouTube's been notorious for having issues with copyright laws from basically day one. There's just so much. It's so much of a headache to post audio. And for the protection of the artist, I totally get it, like I said, but it sometimes goes a bit too far. Like, I mean, is someone using their audio on TikTok really? Like, what's losing them money? I mean, I don't know. I'm not a lawyer. I'm not capable of understanding of this stuff. But you know, it happens. It is what it is. I'm excited. I'm excited to show some of Rose's fun ideas for her character. There's definitely a lot that she will do to the ghosts that will, you know, essentially destroy their plans or mess with them. I like to think that she purposefully does stuff to make it more difficult, especially once they start getting towards her base. Like, I assume she'll probably have traps set and just the craziest stuff imaginable. She's not exactly a nice person. It's been established. It's been established that Rose is not a very kind and understanding person. But she loves to mess with people. I especially like her using her soul flowers to bind people to the ground. I've been thinking about having that be a huge part of her power, is that binding. It can allow for ghosts not to be able to move, and you know, that's really a useful thing. Now, to counter it, I've been thinking, you know, what ghost would be great to counter that sort of soul power, and I like to think that Mantis can just use his daggers and like cut the soul flowers as soon as they start sprouting. But then I think, well, if she gets to him first, then there's essentially no way to get around it. So I'm wondering how I can make it to where maybe the ghosts have a little bit of a fighting chance against that, because that's a pretty debilitating power as a ghost. Like, your biggest source of power is freedom of movement. So when you don't have that freedom of movement, you know, you kind of get you know, you're in a pickle, right? And so I really like to think that with the soul flowers especially, they can be binding to the ground and they can spread all throughout with the vines as well. Like, not just the flowers themselves, but the vines, the leaves, stuff like that. And then I also have Derthier, who has more of like the actual weapons, where he creates like the laser guns. He's able to annihilate people with those. And Derthier is becoming, I've been really enjoying writing stuff for Derthier lately. I've had a lot of new ideas for him. Thinking about kind of making him more focused on the lasers, and also more of a like chemical based sort of weapons. Like, maybe he'll throw like a little chemical bomb or something, and it'll spray toxic air. I don't know. Something like that I think would be really unique to his character, and it would make sense because he's a scientist, and he experiments a lot with different different elements and stuff like that. So I think it'd be really fun to kind of look into that. I really like the thought of him using the laser weapons even though he doesn't really want to. I like the conflict of Derthier's character, where he's like, man, I really, I didn't really want to be a part of this, but I kind of am. I've got to defend this base from these crazy ghosts trying to destroy it, but at the same time, having a bit of sympathy and not wanting to shoot them with the laser. It adds for some really good character moments, especially with Mantis, who I think Mantis gets through to him more than anything, because they kind of have similar mechanisms in their fighting. Like, I have Mantis with the little soul bombs that he makes. He also makes little bombs that will essentially blind the person. Like, it'll create a powder in the air and then you can't see anything. That's really good for a ghost because, ghosts, yes, they can go through stuff. Yes, they can fly, but not to see, that's a pretty debilitating thing for them as well. That freedom of movement and the ability not to be able to see people, huge aspects of Ghost Mask that are really important to the characters. Causes them to get in quite a bit of trouble, let me tell you. There's one specific instance where I like to think Dirthier hesitates before shooting the gun, before shooting any sort of like the laser gun at anyone, because part of his character is that sort of sympathy still. So I like to think there's some moments where he hesitates, whereas Rose is like, what are you doing, you crazy? Like, you need to take them down. They're in our base. And yeah, I like Dirthier as a character. He's a great contrast to the other villains. I like creating more sympathetic characters that, are understanding and not as like just flat out like evil, Even Zack's not really totally evil. I mean, he has his motivations for doing it, like why he's doing this in the first place. He's clearly upset about being a ghost. He doesn't want to be one. He wanted to live a normal life, but being in the afterlife, he's like, man, I don't like this one bit. And that's a huge part of his character as well, is that motivation to essentially destroy what he hates the most, which is the afterlife, because he doesn't like being there. And, to essentially, in his own way, save everyone else from having to be in an afterlife, which it doesn't make any sense to other people, but to him, his motivation is very clear. He thinks he's doing the right thing. He's not, but he thinks he is. One of my favorite types of tropes in fiction is a character doing what they think is right, but may not actually be what's right for everyone else. It's very selfish, but I like that. I think it's a good trait for a character. It's interesting. It gives a lot of credence to why he's doing this all in the first place. There would be no reason for him to create the lasers if he didn't have some sort of not even just vengeance, but just sort of his own anger on the whole situation. And it kind of just drags everyone else down with him, So one of those things that I really like to write about personally. And writing Rose's character is also just fun in general because she's just kind of just unhinged. And it's nice to just have a character be unhinged with no redeeming qualities. It's nice to have that. There is too many characters that have no, there's always sympathy. There's always, like they've always got to have something going on that makes you feel bad for them. But I think sometimes it's nice to have a character who's just bad. And there's no reason. There's really no reason for them to be bad. Sure, Rose does have some sad stuff that happened to her, but it's nothing that, it would justify her acting the way she does, right? Oh, yeah. I mean, Rose especially has a vendetta against Ray. Jealousy, of course, because Zack still really cares about Ray, and Rose looks at Zack and is like, why do you care about him? Like, he's against everything you're doing. But Zack still loves Ray. He still cares about him. There's no hatred from Zack to Ray. Even though he's the one that did that to Ray, It's in his mind once again. He thinks he's doing the right thing, but he's not. He thinks he did what was best for Ray, letting him enjoy the afterlife. But, that's not really good. You did a horrible thing. And now Ray has to pay for the consequences because of what Zack did to Ray, So, yeah, stuff like that, really, really compelling stuff. I really enjoy writing about it. For sure, Zack is a very fun villain to write for. And like I said, he's not exactly completely evil either, but Rose, for sure, just unhinged. She will for sure threaten the ghost with the laser at one point, and likely will go after Ray with it, if I'm being honest. If anyone's going to shoot the laser, it's going to be Rose. Zack wouldn't I would like to think Zach wouldn't shoot Ray with a laser, honestly. I don't think he'd be able to do it. I think he'd think about it in the moment and be like, what am I doing? Like, that would destroy him, right? As we know, the laser is the only thing that can destroy a ghost. So, in fact, that's actually, I have a character, I don't know if I've mentioned Dimitri here before, but Dimitri is one of my characters that has an actual injury from the laser. He worked for Souls of Paradise. Previously, he worked for them. And I don't know if I put it that he got fired or if he left on his own accord after the laser incident. But it's really hard to leave Souls of Paradise once you're in there. So I'm not sure how I'm going to have that work out. Maybe even he pretends to work there. I don't know. I'll kind of write that in and weave it in somehow that will kind of make sense and fit for the story. Considering I already have the ending planned out for Ghost Mask, I mean, really a huge part of it is just the beginning, the ending, and then everything in the middle, how we get there. Most of it's figured out, but like I said, the small little details are going to be a huge part of it, you know? And, yeah, very excited. Rose is very fun to write for. In general, I felt myself getting more attached to the villain characters as I kind of went along and started writing them and drawing them, of course. But I still need more ideas for Rose videos. I have some, but I just know they would take me an eternity to make at this point. They're gonna be months in the making at this point. At this rate, the rate that I'm going with videos right now, it's gonna come out in like 12 years. But you know, still very fun. I think I've showed Dimitri on a stream before. I feel like I've shown him. But yeah, he essentially was one of the first victims of the laser, and showing how with the ghost replica body it can still be destroyed. When usually it can rejuvenate and regenerate, just like with any injury, it'll usually be okay in the end, but with specifically the laser injuries, it's permanent. I'm also thinking about one of the ghosts having a permanent, actual permanent injury, one of the main ghosts having a permanent injury. I think I'm going to have, I won't say who it is, but one of the ghosts, one of the main characters will likely have an injury permanently from the laser. Maybe even more than one, depending on how the story goes. But yeah, I'm very excited. I don't know why I'm excited for, because at this point, Ghost Mask ain't is like, unless I get lucky, Ghost Mask ain't really going anywhere right now. It's like, it's not going, like, there's no show in production. There's no, I've started a comic, but I have no idea when that's going to be done. I guess I'll just keep going with it. The comic I did work a little bit on the other day. Comics are going to take months, but, you know, I did do a little bit of work on him. I do have a little bit of start, and then, of course, I still want to continue writing while, you know, before I get too far into the comic. I also want to kind of write everything out and just take a day to just organize every single chapter. It's like at the beginning, most of the middle, and the end, but I don't have a lot of the specific details of when things occur. Like, when do the ghosts go to Rose's base? When do ghost characters get together and have romantic stuff go on? Like, I have all these arcs that I want to do as well. Each character has their own arc. Perry, Isaac, Mantis, Ray, Carter, Caitlin, etc. They all have their own arcs that I need to go through. Isaac's is especially going to be fun to write, because I love writing a character that's going through their own struggles that has to deal with the consequences of that struggle being what made them go to the afterlife in the first place. Very fun stuff. I really love writing for Isaac. He sort of gives off Angel Dust vibes, and I realized it's very similar. I didn't mean for that to happen, but, you know, it is what it is with characters. He's just a fun character to write for, though, for sure. He's very sympathetic character, but there's definitely a lot of moments where you'll be like, oh my god, Isaac, you are just not not great to be around. But I love writing for his character regardless. He's also fun to draw. One of my favorite characters to draw, honestly, besides like Ray. That's true. He did lose his arms to the laser. He has a lot of resentment towards Zack. I mean, I think a part of him does care about Zack to an extent, but considering that Zack has kind of forced him to be in Souls of Paradise, and Zack made him make the laser, and if he hadn't made that laser, he would still have his arms. Like, it's pretty compelling for Derthier to not exactly enjoy Zack's presence very much. They've definitely got a very tumultuous relationship. Hi, welcome to the stream. Welcome. For the most part, though, like I said, I really like writing Zack and Derthier's interactions. I really feel bad for Derthier because he's definitely very, like... I know he's, like, a sympathetic character, and I know he doesn't like being evil. He's not necessarily an evil person. Kind of just doing it out of, you know, what he's essentially been made to do because of Zack. So, really sad stuff. Derthier also has a really, really heartbreaking story before he died. Now, he was a ghost. He became a ghost right about the time Ray did, so he kind of grew up in that same, like, 1960s, 1970s era. But yeah, sorry, I'm trying to think off the top of my head. Sometimes I snap my fingers, it helps a bit. What was I saying? Oh my god, lost my train of thought. I had it. It was there. There it's gone. It happens. In any case, though, Derthier's got a really sad backstory. This is really sad. I really feel sad for him. And I also, I mean, I feel bad for Zack too. Zack didn't exactly have a great past. I haven't revealed how he became a ghost, but it's pretty bad. Lots of parallels to Ray's story, honestly. They share a lot of similar aspects. And I love that. I love that they kind of foil each other. Because the pieces start to fall together, and I start to see Ray and Mantis having a very similar relationship to Ray and Zack, and I love it. It's not necessarily a love triangle as much as it's a sort of, you know, what would you say, a comparison. Two completely different people in a very similar circumstance will make two completely different decisions about the same thing. You know, Ray goes to Astramia just like Zack did. Zack meets Ray. Ray meets Mantis. You know, one's a ghost, one's a human. Very similar, right? It all is the balance of character arcs, and I'm crafting it to make it make sense and make it fit in together, and you start to see the parallels of every characters. Oh. Have a good night. See you later. Thanks for joining the stream, by the way. But yeah, yeah, no, I love all the pieces falling into place. It's one of my favorite parts about writing. I love the writing aspect of stories. Yeah, sorry, I talked a lot. I mean, I guess that's the point of a stream, right? To talk. It's like a comedian apologizing for telling jokes. Sorry, I didn't mean to make y'all laugh so much. Like, no, that's the point. That's the point of the stream, is to talk. What am I saying? Sorry, sometimes I start to lose it a bit. Back on track. Where was I going again? Oh, yeah, parallels. I love it. I love foils. Foil characters. Zack's is especially fun to see later on. But, like I said, this is all, you know, super far into the writing, super far into the making. Ghost Mask has barely even scratched the surface of being completed in any sort of way. And I'm sitting on the ending right now, and I'm like, man, I need to do this. This is, like, I've got so much planned for all these characters. And then I just am unable to do anything some days. It's debilitating. It makes me really sad. But one day I will get that motivation back. I will get that fire again. I know I will. It's just time. Patience. But yeah. I got really hyped about it. See, the more I hype myself up, the more I feel like I can get back in the groove of things, and I'm like, you know, keep going. And I promise it will not all just be Baldur's Gate related. I promise. One day I'll fall out of the game, guys. I promised. It's not always gonna be Baldur's Gate. Hey, gives me motivation for drawing. I'll say that. If it gives me motivation for doing the thing I love, I say all for it. Especially because some of the art I make for Baldur's Gate is just so depressing and sad. I have a lot of AUs, a lot of hypotheticals. That game can get very depressing, as is Ghost Mask. Very depressing stuff. Oh no. I'm so sorry. I hate when that happens. Sometimes I'll look at the, what is it? You open up, like, the task manager and, like, something's at, like, 100% and it's, like, red and I'm like, oh my gosh, what's going on here? Why is my computer, like, about to, like, set on fire or something? I always hate when that happens. I've had computer crashes. I actually had, one of the first times I started on Clip Studio Paint, I had a drawing, like, my computer crashed and the drawing had corrupted and I wasn't able to open the file anymore and I lost that entire drawing. That took me like 4 hours. I was so mad. It's why you save. Back in the day, I actually would never save my art on the family computer. I would just like close it and then leave. And then if my mom like restarted the computer, I'd be like, Mom, you restarted my art, but like why didn't I save the file? That's kind of on me at that point. Like, it takes 2 seconds. Look, I mean, I go and I click, and look, it's all saved. It's done, you know, no worries. And Clip Studio also has a backup feature in case your art does crash. You can actually go in the files and restore it. Oh, yeah, laptops are horrible for that, man. I swear, they last, like, 1.5 years to 2 years, and eventually they become so slow, it's, like, not even worth using. I mean, I've had bad experience with laptops, so maybe that's just me. I've never had a good experience with a laptop ever. And I mean, to be fair, they're not exactly expensive laptops that I get, but you know, they're decently priced. You would think it would last a bit longer, but they're just not built to last anymore. Or even if they even ever were. I mean, the laptop I had when I was 14 didn't last me but like 1.5 years. And then it started just slowing to the point where I couldn't open a Google tab without it taking like 2 minutes to open. I was like, what is even the point? If I can't get something to load that quickly, like, my goodness. There was a time on my computer, on my family computer growing up, where it took 10 minutes to load a YouTube video, and I was like, this just will not work. I'm sorry. I just do not have the patience to wait an entire millennia for a video. What is this? It's not 1996. I'm not having to copy stuff on floppy disk. Like, why is it taking so long? But you know, stuff happens with computers. They're very very frustrating pieces of technology, but alas, I can't wait to start playing games on here and then my computer start to just slowly die as I play some of the most hard to run games of all time. Oh my gosh. Hey Arrow, welcome to the stream. Don't worry, you're not really that late. I mean, I tend to stream for at least an hour nowadays usually, so we still got plenty of time. But yeah, no, computers suck in general sometimes. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're the best things ever, and then sometimes you just want to throw your computer out the window. It's just how it is. Hit or miss, especially with laptops. So laptops, like I said, I do not have a good experience with laptops. I love them for the portability though. The mobility and the portability, I love it. I absolutely love it. Just wish they just didn't like die in a year. Or like, come on, man. It's just crazy. My computer's still going strong. I think about it for 4 years now. My computer is still going strong. I'm very happy. Like I said, I can't wait to play games that will one day probably set it on fire. But, you know, I will try my best to run it. Only bad thing is computer parts are so expensive nowadays. Ugh. But, nah. Man, I had a Chromebook for high school. We had like assigned Chromebooks, and it wasn't that bad at first, but we kept the Chromebook all through high school, and you just reused the same one you did as last year. And man, I mean, it got slow, man. It was hard to do stuff on there. It was great for me because, like I said, my family computer growing up was super slow eventually. I mean, we had that thing for like 7 years, and I'm pretty sure that was like 6 years too long. That thing, I mean, I'm surprised it lasted as long as it did. That thing was sputtering. I mean, it would, like, just to load a YouTube video, not only would it take forever, but it would sound like a siren. the whole computer would just be screaming the entire time. It'd be like, I'd be like, oh my gosh, this thing's gonna blow. Like, what's going on? But yeah, no. Chromebooks, I mean, they're okay, but yeah, they also tend to be kind of slow. Oh my gosh, toothpaste. Hey, I used to, whenever I would play video games as a kid, I would try that toothpaste method to get scratches off a disc. It never worked, let me tell you. I mean, I might as well have just put the thing in water at that point. So, I've had that happen where I've gotten stuff in the components and it's like, oh my goodness. I have cats too, so when we'd open up the computer, there'd just be like, just a mountain of cat hair. It's like, oh my gosh. Things clogging the fans. Right? I mean, if it works, it works, you know? As long as it works, that's really all that matters on computers. Even if they're slow, I mean, if they still run, you know, they're still pretty good. But I've had my fair share of stuff crash on me and break. Ugh. It is what it is. Computers were just built different back then. Also, like, the computer that I had another computer I'd grown up with was, like an original Windows, like 98. My bad. It wasn't Windows 98. It was Windows XP, but it was like the old version of Windows XP. Like, you turn it on, it has like that big blue earth symbol. I don't remember what the company was called. And it would have like the little, like bars across to load the thing. And it lasted a long time. That thing lasted like 20 years. I played that thing in like 2018. I mean, and we had it since like probably 2001. I mean, maybe even earlier. So, I mean, that computer, that old thing, I could not believe how well that thing lasted. It held up pretty good. Maybe it helped because we didn't really have any internet on it, and for the most part, growing up, I just played, like, Heroes of Might and Magic 3 on there, which, best game of all time, let me tell you. I love that game. But, yeah, that computer lasted a surprisingly long time for being such an ancient relic. I mean... thing was like 20 years old, man. It was older than me, probably. And it still ran. And yet this computer that we had gotten in like 2012 had just completely died within like 7 years. Granted, we used it way more and it had internet, so like obviously there was games and downloads and stuff on there. And you know what happens when you download music? It's like, oh, you're risking it every single time when you download something like that. But yeah, no, computers, great stuff. Great technology. Love it for art. Don't love it for when they start to die. Man, I wonder if Heroes of Might and Magic would be fun to stream. I bet it'd be really easy to run, because I actually own Heroes of Might and Magic on my computer right now. Don't know if anyone would be interested in watching me stream it, because it is, like, from 1995, but... I love it. I grew up with it, so I love it, but I could also see people looking at it and going, why on earth would you play this game over any other video game of all time? And it's like, it has very many happy memories. My mom and I used to play it all the time. Very fun game. I would love to stream video games. I'll probably, if I'm being honest at this point though, okay. If I'm being honest at this point, I'd probably just start streaming on my other channel, because I think that I should keep the video games in here separate. I also feel like video games are just so chaotic that I like that chill vibe of my channel right now, and I feel like if I start being chaotic, like especially in games like Baldur's Gate or Sims or something, it might kind of throw off the vibe. And I'd like to keep the vibes pretty chill, so I'll probably end up streaming on a different channel. I think that's what I'm gonna end up doing. And it's just my other channel, which is Powerful Wafers. Literally Powerful Wafers. I'll make that my video game channel. I'll start streaming on there. I don't know if OBS will let me connect 2 channels. I really hope so, because I really want to stream video games. I think I'll have a lot of fun. Audrey! Alright, well, my co-host is here. Hi, baby. What's up? What's going on? She's so cute, but what are you doing up here, girl? What are you doing? But yeah, I'll probably end up streaming on powerful wafers. Like I said, I think it's just better to keep them separate for now. Keep art stuff and then keep video game stuff separate. And plus, I feel like it'll be like kind of a new start. It'll be kind of nice and fun. So very excited for that. I will let you guys know when I start streaming on there. Like I said, I gotta set it up, and who knows what OBS is gonna do. Who knows if it's even gonna let me do 2 different channels. Hopefully I don't have to like sign out and redo it every single time. Hey, Audrey. I can't really draw when you're on the desk, Audrey. Kind of in my way. That's okay. It's worth it to have my cat up here with me. Oh my gosh, she's so cute. I love her so much. She's my baby. She's very old. She's gonna be 14, I think, this year, or 13. God, she is an old cat. Happy birthday to your dog. I just saw that. I don't know if I don't remember if I looked into the podcast or not, but I will look into it. I will pull up the chats from the previous stream and look into it. So sorry, I tend to forget a lot when it comes to looking into things. You can ask anyone. I'll be like, I'll look into it, and then 10 days later, they're like, did you look into it? And I'll be like, oh crap, I forgot. So sorry, my memory is that of a hamster. Hey, welcome to the stream. But yeah, what was I talking about? See, this is what happens every single time. Every single time. I get distracted too easily as well. I'm at least glad that YouTube lets me keep some of the chats though, because I can like still look back and like and someone recommends something to me, I can go and look it up. I'm not good with names. Not good with names or faces, really. I mean, I think I was good with names at one point. That's exactly how I am. I'm like, I don't even remember what we were talking about. I was better with names. I used to be really good with faces, and then... Yeah, okay. Thanks for that, Audrey. Really appreciate that. Would it really be a cat if it didn't knock over everything on my desk? Yeah, I can't do family member names either if they're really like long distance family members. I don't remember. It's out of my head. It's just like my brain is just blah, completely not good with stuff like that. But yeah. Oh, are you licking tortilla chips? What are you doing? Chaotic evil is what my cat is. Are you gonna keep sniffing around, Audrey? Please don't knock anything else over. And definitely don't knock over the bowl of tortilla chips. Do you have any idea how many decibels that's gonna be? Oh, alright, I'll take a break from drawing. Because, geez, ugh. It takes so much out of me to draw nowadays. I feel like I used to... Man, when I was a kid, I used to, like... I would draw for, like, probably 12... Not 12 hours, but, like... At least 8 hours a day, I would draw. Thanks for that, Audrey. Appreciate it. As always, complete chaos. In any case, yeah. Anyway, I tend to have chaotic streams. Considering how many memeable games there are nowadays, yes, absolutely. I should look into playing Heroes of Might and Magic on here. I think that would be fun. Not only on my other channel, but I think that would actually be really fun. it would definitely take some getting used to, though. The graphics are not good. Or like 2000 or 1995 graphics for a video game, if you can even believe that video games were a thing back then, in like the ye ancient times. Like, goodness gracious. Once I'm done with that video, I think I'll... Well, I still got 2 videos. So I got 1, and then I got 2, and then I got another. Oh, thank you. I appreciate that. But yeah, I got a couple different videos in the making. Probably upload the one that I'm getting ready to finish on Friday. Might just go back to Friday uploads when I even get back into the swing of things, but yeah. I'll probably end up wrapping up the stream here soon. It's getting a little bit late. I have not eaten in a while, but yeah, I'll probably wrap it up here in a little bit. Man, my chat is going so slow. I can't. I wish it would like show me the chats quicker. OBS delays so much. So very much. But in any case, it is what it is. But yeah, after that, I think I'll probably try to set up some games to eat something. Eat something. I will eat something. Don't worry, chat. I promise. I'll eat something. We're about to eat dinner here in a second. But yes, as usual, this is always a fun stream. I really appreciate everyone joining me. I usually, well, like I said, I'll stream every few weeks. Sunday's a weird day to stream, but I had time to stream today, and I love streaming, and I love talking to you guys, so thank you all for joining. I promise I will eat something. Sorry about the decibels on the mic. I will eat something. Well, my husband and I are gonna go eat here in just a second, and yeah, I'll set up the other channel, probably to stream soon, and I'll let you guys know what's going on with that. Don't worry, I'll still stream on here. It's probably just gonna be art related though for now on. Just art related. Maybe I'll talk about games occasionally, but I'll probably still keep it to like art and general discussion, and Ghost Mask, of course, because I gotta have my Ghost Mask art. And very excited to see where it takes me with these 2 YouTube channels. Hopefully it doesn't get too overwhelming to manage. I already am overwhelmed with one. To be fair, art is a lot more, it takes a lot more out of me, drawing the frames. I mean, videos take weeks and weeks of work. So hopefully I can still get back into the groove of things, but that's just kind of how things are. That's how things are right now. But thank you all for joining me. As usual, have a good night, have a good rest of the weekend, and I will see you guys next week, or not next week. Sorry, week after that. Maybe next week if I feel like I can stream, if I have time. But yeah, I'll see you guys next stream. Thank you all for coming, and I will see you later. Bye.